You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Arya, and this is your NXT audio update for Wednesday, February 15, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a pretty good little main event this week on NXT. The UK title on the line for the first time ever. But before we get to recapping the main event, let's recap everything from the start, shall we? The Authors of Pain kicked off the show, taking on two jobbers. Now, Nigel McGuinness, I'm sure most of you have heard him speak. He has a very thick British accent, and I did not understand what the name of the opponents were. I had to go back and re-listen to it a couple times, and it sounded like the opponents' names were Garrison Spears and Ron Sanoa. After I turned on closed captioning, turned out that Ron Sanoa did not wrestle in this match, whoever he is. Lance Anoa'i wrestled and lost. Authors of Pain destroyed them, used the Death Valley driver into the turnbuckles, won with the last chapter, and laid them out afterwards with the Super Collider. I bet Ron Sanoa could have fared better. We re-aired the Tyler Bate video package that they have aired at least 4 times at this point. We got a great big update on Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, you might recall last week we found out that Nakamura did not need surgery from his worked injury at TakeOver. This week, it was announced that the former 2-time champion is training. Boy. I know I was waiting with bated breath for that update exclusively from Tom Phillips and company on NXT this week. We got match number 252 in the Best of 6 Million series with Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Liv Morgan. This time we got a tag team match playa. You might recall last week Liv Morgan defeated Peyton Royce in a match. Defeated Billie Kay in a match despite Peyton Royce interfering. And this led to the tag team match being booked with Liv being able to pick any partner she wanted. Did she pick the unbeatable, unbeaten, undefeated, undisputed NXT Women's Champion of the World, Asuka? No, but at least this time she didn't pick Aaliyah. She picked Ember Moon, which is usually a pretty good alternative to picking Asuka. Well, didn't work out so well this time. The heels got the heat on Ember when Ember was on the middle rope, but due to shenanigans, the referee was distracted by Liv, so Billie and Peyton yanked Ember off of the middle rope. The heat on Ember did not last too long, and she was able to make the tag to Liv, who ran wild on Peyton. We had a Pier 6 brawl breaking out. Billie booted Ember off the apron and pinned Liv after a double team knee to the head. We got a recap in the ongoing saga between the Perfect 10 Ty Dillinger and the Perfect Group of 4 people, Sanity. And this led us to Andrea DeMarco interviewing Roderick Strong and No Way Jose in a weight room somewhere. They asked why they sided with Ty Dillinger. Strong and Jose said that they're behind Dillinger because a 4-on-1 beatdown is not fair, and if Sanity are not stopped, they won't just settle with beating Ty, and instead will go after the entire roster next. DIY was dressed to compete, and they were up for our next segment, Alive in the Ring. They may have been dressed to compete, but they weren't actually here to compete. They were here to cut a promo. They thanked the fans for naming them the Tag Team of the Year before turning their attention to the new NXT Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain. Gargano said that even though they're great in San Antonio for the first time ever, Akam and Razor showed doubt in their eyes, and on that night, DIY may have been beaten, but they aren't broken, and now they want their title rematch. Out came Paul Ellering and crew and said that the match would be in 2 weeks. DIY demanded it right now, so the Revival ran in from out of nowhere and took out DIY. Revival laid them out with the Shatter Machine and ran away before the Authors of Pain made it to the ring. Next up, we had the Trent 7 video package that we've seen 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I'm serious. We see the same video packages over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's basically like watching the WWE Network in between shows on the live stream. They just re-air the same videos over and over again. A video package aired for the returning Cassius Ohno. William Regal was backstage and announced that next week will be a triple threat match. Liv Morgan, Peyton Royce, Ember Moon, and the winner will take on Asuka in 2 weeks for the NXT Women's Championship. It was also announced that next week, Pete Dunne will make his NXT debut going one-on-one with Mark Andrews. And that led us to the main event. Tyler Bate, the WWE United Kingdom Champion, one-on-one with sometimes tag team partner Trent 7. Bate, of course, won the UK Championship Tournament, while 7 went down in defeat in the quarterfinals to Wolfgang. The match started with a series of lockups. The first time 7 backed Bate into the ropes and twirled Bate's mustache. The second time Bate backed 7 to the ropes and twirled 7's mustache. The match started slowly and built up into a very good match. You may have heard, word on the street that this was the best match in Full Sail since the Cruiserweight Classic. In the interest of fairness, that really, I don't believe is saying a whole lot because I can't think of what match would even be in second place. But at the same time, this was still an excellent match and still worth going out of your way to go check out. Nigel McGuinness encouraged them on commentary to start taking risks, and almost as if they heard him, the match picked up from there. Bate did a beautiful dive over the top rope. 7 came back with a Falcon Arrow and went for the 7-star Lariat, which, by the way, is just Kazuchika Okada's Rainmaker. But Bate ducked it and used his airplane spin, where he spins you, stops, acts like he's going to fall over, and then gets the second wind and spins you some more. 7 hit a power bomb, which he turned into a single-leg crab when Bate kicked out. The champ got out of that, but then got hit with the aforementioned 7-star Lariat. However, the champ is still here as he was able to kick out. Bate hit a exploder suplex off of the top rope, but 7 kicked out. 7 hit a spinning back fist, but Bate came off the ropes with a rolling capo kick, nailed the Tyler Driver 97, picked up the win, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Bate is still your reigning, defending, undisputed WWE United Kingdom Heavyweight Champion. And after the match, the tag team partners shook hands, embraced in a big hug, and that was it for the bout. It was about, with entrances, it was 20 minutes, and minus entrances and commercials, it was probably like a good 14 minutes. Still, like I said, worth going out of your way to see. I might get some crap for this, but I don't think it was as good as the AJ Cena Bray 3-way last night, but it was still a very, very good match nonetheless, and I still recommend going to see it. But that's going to do it all for here. Like I said, next week's the triple threat with Ember Moon, Liv Morgan, Peyton Royce, along with Pete Dunne versus Mark Andrews. I'm sure we'll continue the build to NXT TakeOver Orlando coming up on April Fool's Day. Go figure. But I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you again in 7 days.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.